As wrong.
Okay, I'm watching Evan doing the most brilliant thing I've ever seen.
Which I think I make well in my serious conversation, is that the modern liberal is not only always wrong, he's as wrong can be. Whether it's in Ferguson, Missouri, where somehow he believes that Michael Brown, this career thug who was high on drugs, who had just strong-armed a local businessman, who punched the cop in the face, took his gun, and tried to kill him, is a sweet and innocent giant who was gunned down in cold blood by an evil white racist cop. How do you get it that wrong? Whether it's in the Middle East, how do you look at the Middle East with the Islamic nations that are homophobic, xenophobic, misogynistic, and I do believe even a little bit anti-Semitic, and look at these nations and decide the problem isn't the Islamic nations, it's that tiny liberal democracy of Israel. How do you think like that? And I argue the modern liberal is not only always wrong, he is always as wrong can be. But if I'm right, then I have a problem. How am I to explain that liberals seem to reach the tops of their professions? Whatever their professions, whenever I think about Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah. She's a government.
But the woman was nothing less than the Speaker of the United States House of Representatives. Whenever I think about Henry Gates, the man is a tenured professor at Harvard University. Whenever I think of Katie Couric, I believe she still remains the most recent recipient of the Walter Cronkite Award for Excellence in Television Journalism. Whatever I believe about how stupid the left may be, how do they keep rising to the tops of their professions?
Phony.
And then it dawned on me. Liberals reach the tops of their professions because they enter only those professions where you don't ever actually do anything. Right? Every profession we associate with liberalism. Journalism, academia, entertainment, politics is all talk, but no action.
No results.
And when you don't do anything, you don't need to know what you're talking about. Because when you don't do anything, what can go wrong? So liberal flocks to academia. Why?
Because they don't do anything.
Because the academic doesn't do anything. It is so obvious that the academic doesn't do anything that the very name of his profession, academia, has become a synonym for not doing anything. As in, it's all academic anyway. Let's go do something. The job of the academic is for somebody who doesn't do anything to lecture to children who don't do anything about the people who do things and did things and the things that it did and they do.
That's true. That's true.
The liberal flocks to journalism. Why?
They don't do
The
anything.
journalist doesn't do anything. It is so obvious that the journalist doesn't do anything that you could remove their bodies and they would still be able to do their jobs, which is why they're called talking heads. The job of the journalist is for somebody who doesn't do anything to report to the people who do things. The things that the other people who do things were doing while they were out doing things. Why do you think the news was always on at 6 o'clock? Because that's when the people who do things came back from doing those things. The liberal flocks to government. Why?
They don't do anything.
Because the government doesn't do anything. The job of the government is for people like Barack Obama, who have never done anything, to order the people who do everything to stop doing anything the way that they do those things. The irony is that the people who do everything don't listen to the people who've never done anything. Then the people who've never done anything will put the people who do everything in jail, where they won't be able to do anything. But where they will meet another Democratic Party constituency. And of course, the liberal flocks first and foremost to my industry, showbiz. Why?
Because they don't do anything?
Showbiz, we don't do anything. The job of the actor is to pretend to be doing
Something.
the things that the people who do things do. So when the people who do things finish doing those things, they can go to a movie because it's something to do.
Who's on first base?
The actors all talk, but no action. Which is funny, because in order to get the actor to start talking, the director yells action. But the second there's any action, the director yells cut, Sends the actor back to his trailer to talk with his entourage, and they call him a stuntman. Now in Hollywood, virtually every stuntman is a conservative. Why?
Because they do things.
Because they do things. Because the stuntman knows how to do the things the actor's only pretending to know how to do. You see, you know that showbiz is a liberal profession because one of the most important jobs in showbiz is the reviewer. What other industry has a reviewer? You don't need a reviewer when you do things because your actions speak for themselves. Is he a good plumber? I don't know. Does the water run? You don't need a reviewer to go, no. But that's his homage to the dryness of the soul. So that's the line I like the best. Nothing at all. You know that showbiz, being an actor, it's just fake. Because there's no other industry where you can yell, cut, take two. What other industry? Doctor, I think you've nicked the vein. Cut, take two. Clean this up, I'll be in my trailer. You know, the plane's going down. I'll be back. Cut, take two. There's no other industry. There's no other industry in the entire world where children can do what you do. They're child actors. And they're no child ophthalmologists. Can you think it? I want you to meet your surgeon. Billy. Sorry. There are animal actors. The most popular movies in all of all the showbiz, all the entertainment industry, are animated films. Drawings of actors are more popular than actors. But of all the people who don't do anything, the most considered the smartest is the stand-up comedian. Because not only don't we do anything, we do it next to no time. I've got the only job in the world where I say to my friends, I gotta go to work. I'll be right back. Right, we're all considered the smartest. Bill Maher, Jimmy Kimmel, we're all considered the smartest. But what is it we actually do for a living? We don't do anything for a living. In fact, there was a stand-up comic that came along not all that long ago who was considered the greatest at not doing anything. A guy named Jerry Seinfeld. And they gave him $1 million an episode to write his life story. And even he had to admit it was a show
About nothing.
about nothing. But here's the key. Obviously, there are conservative comedians, and there are conservative people in the entertainment industry. There are conservative educators, academics. There are conservative journalists. There are conservatives in government. The difference is not found in what we do and we don't do in our jobs. The difference is found in what we do and we don't do with our lives. And here you have to give the liberals some credit. We can now acknowledge, in their jobs, liberals do absolutely nothing. But with their lives, some liberals have been known to do 2 or 3 times that amount. Liberals' entire lives are about nothing. That's the whole point of Jerry Seinfeld's show. Their entire life is about nothing. Because here's the difference. When you believe in the better, when you believe that America is better, when you believe that God is better, when you believe that marriage is better, when you believe that family is better, you try to be a better person. You spend your life trying to better yourself. Mm-hmm. But when you do not believe in the better, then you spend your entire life just trying to be yourself. And how difficult can that be, to just be yourself? It's got to be boring as hell to just try to be yourself. I got to tell you, I was myself from the day I was born. Are any of you Catholics? Yeah? You didn't even wait until you were born to start being yourself. You were yourself in the womb. And you would think that liberals would love you for this, because what is the womb? Basically, it's a hot tub you're feeding off of somebody else. Not do that joke. I'll get it better next time. I know that liberals hate Catholics. Aren't they supposed to be open-minded? They hate Catholics, they hate the Protestants, and first and foremost, I know that they hate the Jews. And I know why they hate the Jews. It's because the Jews gave us the 10 Commandments. And the liberal looks at the 10 Commandments and goes, my God, if I can't lie, if I can't cheat, if I can't steal, how will I ever be myself? See, liberals hate the Jews because the Jews give us the Bible. And I know that the liberal was traumatized, nothing less than traumatized, The first time he opened the Bible, he saw there was a book spelled J-O-B. Anyway, that's what I'm going to do for you tonight. You got to pay for the rest.
Hooray! I have the coolest friends in the world. Evan Sayet, ladies and gentlemen. Evan Sayet. Live in Hawaii.